Hey there, whippersnappers! Welcome back to another exciting episode of Minecraft on the Farside server. Today we are continuing on with our stable project. Let me, alley-oop! Let me show you what we've got here. It's pretty much the same as we left it last time. I've got all this hay in with the glowstone there. That's looking very nice. It's It took me longer to gather the hay for the stupid pens than I think it did for any, like, I've got all these other, like, resources, and I didn't have enough wheat to make all the hay, so that was fun to gather, but yeah, so this is all pretty much done. This lower level is completely finished. Let's take a quick look at all of the bottom detail here. Got all of the sides and everything all finished up. It looks really nice, at least I think. Love to hear your guys' feedback on it, especially as we're adding new components to it today. Let me know what you're thinking. I'm thinking, I tore out the gravel and obviously put in the hay. I'm thinking I do want something in here other than just grass. I might do kind of like I did in, if you remember my stable in single player, it was kind of a mix of like gravel and cobble and dirt and other things. So it looked kind of worn down. It wasn't a full straight path to something. I think I'm probably going to do that. It's kind of like, in fact, I'm almost certain I'm going to do that, because if we look at like the path that whoever put this path together has kind of come up with, it's kind of just a scattered, broken path in the grass and stuff. So it'll probably be something much like this. I don't really care for exactly, like, I don't think all of this really works together. So actually, I guess a better example is probably going to be, it's probably going to be the path that leads from the Hobbit hole. And I'm just deciding this now, which is why it's not done, but it's probably going to be more like this path. I think this path looks better than that path does, because I feel like these all go together better than, like, the smooth stone slabs and all the different, so, yeah, so this is probably pretty close to what we're going to be doing for the path inside the stable. I'm making that executive decision right now on the spot. But yeah, so if you guys have forgotten or you're just joining us and you haven't seen last episode, we're in the process of building a steampunk stable for the Farside server. There are 20 stalls in all, so 4 rows of 5. Hey buddy, how's it going? Oh, zombie flesh. Got enough crap in my inventory without that. So yeah, 20 stalls. We've got 15 or 16. I don't even really know what the count is at the moment. Because we've added a couple people recently, but I don't know if they're actually, like, they're in our Skype chat, and I think they're whitelisted, but I don't know if they're actually going to be playing on this server or not. So we'll see. I'm going to say 15 or 16 real players for now. And that may include them. I really don't. Anyway, so let's say about 15 or 16, but this has 20 just in case the server continues to grow, because we do add people occasionally that we think are good fits, and sometimes we're right, and so they'll stick around long enough to want to use the server, or the stable. Otherwise, you know, whatever. Picked up the slush. So, that's, yes, last week episode, we set up the stable here. We got this whole bottom level built. I think it looks really good. It's got lots of nice detail and texture and all those sorts of things. I hope you guys like it as well. So what we're going to do today, though, is because this thing it's kind of open roofed and there's not really a whole lot going on in terms of like a building. I think it's a very nice stable, but in terms of being in the steampunk district, we've got to get an actual like building on top of this. This is more of a foundation than it is a building. So what we're gonna do here today is we are going to get started on the building portion of this. And so what we're going to do, as I mentioned last time, the top of this is going to be in a similar style to these other steampunky builds here. I love it. This is probably one of my favorite builds on the server. And I think Vodka King made this. I'd send you to his channel, but he doesn't really upload stuff. He just loves to build. So, I love this and the way everything's all stacked and everything. This one and that one are both very cool builds. I love those. Mine's not going to be quite as cool as that. Mine's going to be more like And if you see, like, even some of, like, the base here, I've drawn some inspiration from this build here. It's kind of a very cool, nice, simple sort of style. Mine's going to be more of like one big building, or at least it's going to be more similar to that than it's going to be this whole stacky thing. Because this is sweet, but I don't know how to do it. And this footprint is so huge. Like, I love, like, the small footprint with tons of stuff really high up. This footprint is just by its very nature so huge that I don't think that would really work very well for me. So instead, we are going to be working on something more like this. And it's going to be massive, as you can see. I mean, this is the whole footprint of it. And so it's going to look... I'm also drawing inspiration from Rasmus's house over here. I really like this narrow, very tight, high peak, as opposed to just the standard, you know, 1x1 slope there. So ours is going to be kind of close to this, with not quite as steep, I don't think, but similar. So let's get into it. I'm going to start on this side, I believe. So let me... So I put in, if you see, so we put in all this cobble last time. We had all these cobble things, and so I put in some logs here. It's gonna look like, you know, like they're beams that are coming down and being supported by this stone foundation. It's really kind of the, to me at least, it's kind of the essence of steampunk. It's like, it really shows how things are intended to function. Like, so we've got, like, steampunk technology or whatever. They take, like, real-world technology, and then they use old-world kind of gears and steam-powered stuff and all that other kind of technologies to kind of show how or why something works, to, like, make it look more real-world. And so really, compared to, like, some Minecraft builds, it seems like the steampunky builds really are more based in reality a little bit, whereas like you look at it and you can say like, oh yeah, this build really looks solid. I believe that. Whereas, like, not to pick on Cluster or anything, because this really isn't a great example, but you know, he's got this big glass building or whatever without any structural beams or anything going on in there. So I guess the Skyrim is kind of the same way as like the steampunky stuff, because I've got structural beams and all this junk in my shop and stuff too. So it's a pretty similar style, just a little more specific in... Well, it's not more specific, it just has different specific materials that you seem to use. So that's what we're doing. These beams are going to kind of... So they come down into the stone foundation a little bit, so it feels more realistic. And so... Ooh, let's grab that. I'm going to chow down here for a second. Alright. So I'm going along the bottom here, all the way around. Just to kind of, you know, frame things in. It's going to be framed in by the spruce. And then, ooh, we're going to need a lot of spruce, eh? There we go. Hold on a second. I was holding shift, but wasn't shifting. I was moving too fast. Alright, there we go. Oh, that made it really hard on me, I think. I shouldn't have done that. So let's start, where do we want to start? Let's start on this side here, shall we? Yes, I think so. So let's do this, and this. Yes. Sorry, I was glancing at my schematic, because this is such a big build, and it does have a fair amount of detail in it that I don't honestly remember every little thing. And as with pretty much all of my builds, especially these bigger ones, I've done so many iterations of it throughout the life of this idea that it's hard to keep up with what's happening exactly. Okay, so this is going to be the, let's say, back side. Yes, back side. Really, there's only, the only reason there's any kind of distinguishment between the sides is because the idea for this is we've got this big open room. We're going to be building kind of a, as I mentioned last time, a used car lot sort of. It's a horse dealership, I guess, is what I would call it. It's a horse dealership where the Farside members are going to be able to come, and if they don't have their own horse yet to keep in our lovely stables here, they can buy one at a reasonable price of decent horses that I've bred together or found that were pretty good. I had a really good horse. My gold saddled horse, or my gold armored horse, was really good, but he wandered off. So I'm probably gonna have to go searching again to find a couple of decent horses that I can use for breeding stock. We'll have mules and donkeys and all that stuff, and that'll be awesome. So, all right. So instead of like fire spread is off now. So really, if I wanted to, I could use wool for the building material. And I'm just thinking of it now, so I probably would have done that in all honesty, because diorite, it's not super expensive. There's actually a lot of it. I thought when I first started, because I had never played in the snapshot before, that it was pretty rare. But then I went on a caving trip with Cluster and Wumbo at one point, and we found tons of it. And I was grabbing it all. I was freaking out. I'm like, oh, this is awesome. Look at all this. And then like my inventory filled up before I was able to use it all. And I was like, oh, okay, well, this stuff is pretty common, huh? So I'm okay with using the diorite. When I originally started building this in creative, I planned to use the diorite because fire spread had been on this server, and it didn't look like there was really any real chance of it getting turned off. So I was like, well, if I'm gonna be doing steampunk, I'm not doing wood and wool, because this building has been MC edited back in. That building has been, Erasmus's house has been a couple times, because just steampunk is typically, in Minecraft at least, done with wood and wool, and wood and wool tend to go up, and especially since these steampunk builds, these are some of the taller builds in Spawn, and so if there's lightning, it seems to be them who gets hit, and Erasmus's house is kind of out there on his own, so there's really nothing to take the fall for him. No, I mean, if lightning's striking over there, it's probably striking his house. And then it would burn to the ground completely, and everybody would be sad, and there'd be much weeping and gnashing of teeth. And so anyway, when I decided I was going to build in the Steampunk district, which was partially because I just wanted to try the style out, and partially because it was the only place near spawn that was close enough to spawn that I thought a stable would make sense. I didn't want to do it like way out of spawn, because then it defeats the purpose. And this spot, actually, this house used to be on this spot. And then Zangiefx had claimed the spot at the end here. He was going to put a build in, but then when he was, he had to put this one back and that one back. I sent him the world download that I had been using for my planning, my prank and stuff. And I think this one must have still existed in that one, so he pulled that one in too. But yeah, so I mean, I don't think the intention, so he put it over there because I'd already claimed this land again. But yeah, so my intention was just, I don't want to have to rebuild things all the time. And by that I meant I'm not going to be rebuilding things all the time. Especially something like this, it's so big and complex that planning it and building it just once has been kind of trying. So anyway, so I was like, well, I'm going to build it out of diorite then for the white. And at least then, if it does get struck, it's the kind of deal where, there's not a whole lot of loss. The roof is going to be mainly stone. This one of vodkas is wood and wool on the roof even. So if it gets struck by lightning, everything is flammable. Whereas my roof, I'm gonna, it's gonna be, I guess none of these really have it that I can show you, but the roof looks a lot like these, a lot like these roofs, so I've got the rim of everything is the wood. I like the spruce wood, and it looks really good on the roof. So I've got the rim as the wood, and then the actual roof is gonna be, stone brick. Stairs and slabs and stuff. So yeah, so let's keep going here. As I said, this is a pretty big build, so these walls are going to be kind of huge, and when I was planning this, I tried it doing just one peak, and I don't know if what I've come up with is really considered steampunky, but I've got a 2-peak roof, so it's kind of like a mirror thing. So it's, you know, it's going to go up and then down in the middle and then up and then down. So it's almost like two buildings right next to each other. But it looks really good. So let me finish this up just a little bit. Let's see. Yeah, I want to get this wall done. Let me actually, I don't want to cut because I want you guys to be able to see what I'm doing, but I'm going to speed this section up. And then I'll catch back up with you guys again when that's done, and then we will move on to another section. So, yeah, I'll be right back. Alright, I changed my mind. I'm going to have to actually cut over to my creative world. The screenshots I've taken don't really give a great view of how the peak of this roof is supposed to go. Because I've got a fancy rim on the roof, and it kind of is shielding what I'm supposed to be doing here a little bit. So I'm gonna cut. I'm gonna go back into my creative world. I'm gonna finish off this roof, and probably the one on the other end as well. And then we'll come back in, and because the side wall roof deal is gonna be a little bit different. So we'll probably. Well, I'll probably have the... Actually, no. I'm going to stop. Put all the walls up. Okay, so it's basically, you know, what you're seeing here. These holes are going to be glass. There's going to be glass panes in these. Yeah, so I'm going to go back. I'm going to put the walls up, and then we'll work on the roof, because the roof is kind of the cool, intricate part of all this. This is just putting walls up. So I'm going to take a quick break. I will see you guys in just a second. And, yeah. Alrighty, guys. See you in a bit. Welcome back, everybody. Wow. Been waiting for you guys for forever. Where have you been? I've been just working away at this thing and like, man, where are they? I really want to get them back in here. And then I remembered, oh wait, you guys are going to be here anyway. I need to hit record again. No, I'm kidding. I kind of got going and I got all the walls up. So let's take a quick look at this. And then I got, you know, I wasn't really able to record by that point. This is a couple days later now. Wasn't able to really record, but I was on. I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to put in the path. So I put in the path. I think it looks pretty good. Again, just as I described at the beginning of the video, pretty similar to the path I've got in front of the hobbit hole. A couple of different textures mixed in. Got the mossy brick in here because it's got a little bit of green in it. But then mostly pretty much the same as the other path. So I think it looks really good. Let me know what you guys think on that. But that is not what we're here to talk about. Let's jump on up in here. So I've got the walls up, and as I mentioned, it's a two-peak kind of build. I've got the entrance on this side, and then the walls are pretty much the same otherwise. So this side's got some big doors on the front. This side does not, but otherwise everything else is completely identical across each other. So that works out really well. I think it's going to look really cool once we get the roof on, which we've got to do now. So let's jump on up in here. Let's see if I can... Beautiful. Alright, so let's start here. So as I mentioned, the main roof, and that's probably going to need to get changed, but we'll see. The main roof is going to be stone. And I know fire spread is off, so I don't have to do this anymore, but I don't know, I just kind of want to. I guess again, kind of like with the wool thing, it's the design that I've put together, so I kind of just am gonna stick with it at this point. I've been toying with this stupid stable. I don't remember when I first mentioned it to you guys, but it's been literally like months that I've been designing this stupid thing now. So I mean, at this point, I'm pretty much committed, and I think that the stone roof actually looks pretty decent. And I think it's just that. I don't really remember. So I'm gonna stick with it. And so let's see. So basically, I'm gonna get this on here, and then we're gonna do the whoops. Then we're gonna do the I did this wrong. This doesn't need to be. This needs to be that, and then this way. So we're gonna put the stone on here, and that's just gonna show you the basic path of the roof. And then this one was what? This, yeah. And then we're going to go back and I'm going to put on the wood rim, which is where we're really going to kind of do, really that's going to make it kind of pop. And once you guys see that, then I'm going to cut and I'm going to put in the roof, because honestly, that's going to be real boring. As exciting as this is, huzzah! Let's take a quick look. Okay, so that's essentially, I think I might have messed up the peak here, but let's jump in here. Basically, you know, this is what the main roof is going to be. It's going to be this stone, but as I said, with the rim, we're going to be making it out of wood. And so really what we've got to do for that is just, actually I probably don't even, yeah, I've got my shovel. I probably actually don't even need to do this from the front, do I? I can probably do this from up top. It's always exciting figuring out how you actually have to put together a build you've been working on forever, because you've been working on it in creative, and now you've got to figure out how it's going to work in survival. I think though that I think we can do this from here. So let's at least to start, we should be able to. Let's try this. There we go. Oop. Oh well, I don't have any spruce, just wood on me. I forgot about that. Alright, so we do this. And so this is gonna kind of overhang. Let me fall. Nope. Okay, you know what? This is gonna be way too difficult. I'm gonna jump back in when this is done, I guess. Ooh, wait, we got it. So let's just no. You guys aren't enjoying this. Who am I kidding? We'll be right back. Okay, guys. I'm sorry. This episode is full of fun little tidbits. So we're working on the roof here. We've got all of the stuff up here on this side for the most part. I've got a fun little flourish for the peak here that we're going to work on in just a second. I started working on the side, and we're going to get to that too. But let's jump up, and we're going to work on this flourish, and I'll show you what that guy is going to look like, and then we'll work on the side a little bit, and then you guys, I'll bring you back at the very end to see everything complete. But I just want to give you guys an idea of what we're doing here. So, this I'm stealing kind of from Raz. It's not exactly like his, but it's similar. The way the peak of his roof, you can see that. I don't know how big it is on your screen, but you can see it kind of comes out a little bit. He's got the tall, narrow roof, and then it comes out. Mine doesn't have quite as steep a slope as his does. But I do like that. I think I kind of did something similar on the front of my shop, which we can't really see right now. But let's jump up here. So what I want to do is, from this, let's see, I've got these. I want to bring this peak out. 1, 2, 3, 4, I think. If that's wrong, I'll fix it in a minute. And then, whoo! Can't do that, so let's do this. There we go. So at the end of this, we want to be able to do that. Perfect. Alright, so that's the base. So the top level of this kind of comes out all narrow-like. And then we're going to go... We're going to break this out. Let's go down just a little bit. So I want this to kind of... I want it to look like it, you know, could potentially exist. So let's... give me 1 second. Okay. So we come out, and we're going to come out 2 more from this, and then we're going to do 1 just like that. Alright? And actually this is, let's see, we've got 1, 2, and then we do have, this is 1 too long. So let's clear this out. Let's throw these back on here. Oop. Gonna have to let myself back out. There we go. There we go, and then we're gonna do similar shenanigans over here. So we're gonna do that, and then underneath it, we're gonna put. Oh, it's not gonna work. There we go. And then underneath it, we're gonna put one of those. So it looks like it's potentially supporting itself. And from here. I'm gonna come, let's come back out just a little bit more. So I want to get directly out in front of it. Alright, and so then I'm going to put, crud, I don't have any glowstone on me. I'll do that in a minute. For now, let me put just a torch in here. Alright, so we're gonna have a torch there. That's gonna be a piece of glowstone. But then the rest of this is going to come out, be a little thicker until we get there. So let's let me grab my shovel here. Let's clear this junk out and see what we got. Let me jump over here. Oh! So bad at parkour. Okay, so what we've got, let's take a quick look if we can see anything through our dirt. So, not really. But you'll see it kind of comes out and it looks like it, you know, I wanted to make sure it didn't look like it was just jutting out. But it kind of builds up into this kind of stick out peak sort of thing. I think it almost looked kind of Viking-y. So it's kind of inspired by Raz's thing, and I like the kind of ridged back top of his roof too, so I'm going to be stealing that as well. So I'm going to do that on each of these 4 peaks. And now, since we are done with that, let me let's jump on over here, and I'll show you what we're doing with the other side of the building here. So we've got this side of the building is largely just windows, okay? And so I started working on these a little bit, and let me give you the step-by-step here. So let's start down here. So I start with the level, so it's level with the window here. I'm gonna put a stair here along all of these, and it changes. Let's see, does that? Nope. On this one, that's not right. So it changes slightly on this middle window, just because on the middle window it goes up one. So I've got a slightly higher peak on this one. So it's a little bit different. So then we come in and we're gonna put in, so let's just do these 2 windows here, shall we? So we put in another set of stairs here, and then on this one we're gonna go in and start making our peak. Okay, we're gonna do that on either side. Beautiful. And then on top of these stairs that we've just placed, we're going to put in another set of stairs, go in the opposite direction, and that's going to kind of frame out the last bit of our peak. And then from there, we are going to do something mildly similar. So we're going to put in this, and on this one it's too wide just because of the spacing from down below. And then from there, we're going to do something kind of similar to what we did over here. So we've got this. We're going to use the stairs to create kind of a small little peak again. This time it's going to be, let's do it on this one. Okay. And so we're going to put it right there. Because these windows are a little smaller, it doesn't need to be quite as big. I believe that's as big as I want it. And then we're going to put in another stair right there and right there. Okay. So, oh! On today's episode, Twitter falls off of things. Totally on purpose. Alright, so let's hope that lands somewhere on the ridgeline here. And it does not in any way. We can get back up here though. So let's chow down on some chicken, and we'll see. The roof looks. No. Okay, so the roof's pretty much like on the other one, just on a smaller scale. So we build up to it, and then we're gonna have this little peak, and that's gonna happen on every single window. And this one builds up a little bit differently, but essentially the same. So let me finish off all of the roofs. I'm gonna get that in, and we will continue on. Let's see, I've got to figure out. Hey there, whippersnappers, welcome back. I'm just putting up some finishing touches here on the inside, and I'm going to continue to do this off camera. That sounds bad. But let's take a quick look. In fact, we're definitely doing that off camera. So let's take a quick look. I've got the roof all on, all the special little flourishes and everything. So let's take a look at it in its finished form here, and then I'll let you guys go, and I will finish it up and be back next week. Ooh, we've got a babby. Oh gosh. Don't have my sword on my bar. Too many things I have to have on my bar when I'm building, and it's, sword doesn't make the cut. Okay. Hey buddy. Let's go ahead and let Tortimer record, okay? Alright, so here it is. Got all the peaks on. The roof is made out of stone. We can jump up there real quick. So, the roof's made of stone, which doesn't really matter as much again because we've got fire spread off now. I stole this kind of top ridge thing from Raz, so it's just made using stairs, and I think that looks pretty good. Got all the little stuff on here too now. So all of this is done. I think all in all it just looks really cool, and I don't know that it necessarily in the end really feels steampunky. I almost get more, like with all of these like flourishes and stuff, I almost get more of a Viking and or like even an Asian vibe off of it a little bit. But I still think it looks cool. I think it still kind of goes with this district, uses all the same materials and much of the same style. So I think it's a sufficiently steampunky-ish build. But yeah, I understand. It's probably not true steampunk. Again, I've never done steampunk before, so I just did my best to get as close as I could. But yeah, I've also designed, which I've got to decide whether or not I'm going to put in or not. Like, I've got in creative, I've got like a spire that comes out of the very middle of it. Just like a single spire that comes out there. It looks good. I don't know if I'm going to go through the trouble of adding it, at least not at this point. I might come back at some point and do it, but for now, I'm thinking we're pretty much done. And I'm going to do work on the inside of the horse shop, and I'll show that to you guys at the beginning of next episode. Do want to show you, Addy, he got on last night while I was working on the roof a little bit. I tell you what, this episode is in the running for longest time to make. I think I started recording this episode like a week ago? The first segment of this? I don't even know. It's been a long time. But Addy got on last night while I was doing a bit on the roof, and he's had this donkey that was living on the back porch of his house, like, since I joined the server. So 5 months, I mean, it's been since, the beginning of the server, because he moved out of spawn even before I joined, I think. So it's been here for a long time, and I was like, he's like, what are you doing? And I was like, oh, well, come check it out. And he came and checked it out. He thought it was cool. And then he's like, just shows up with his donkey and claims a spot. I was like, all right, well, there you go. He gets the premium spot because he got here first. So I haven't even moved my horses over yet, but I'm thinking I might take this spot. I don't know, because it's closer to the hobbit hole. Not really sure. All the spots are pretty good, though. There's no one that I really see as, significantly better than the other, but if you like the end spot, I guess that works for you. But yeah, so let's, so we've got the entryway here. People will come on up in, and then this big room. I'm gonna put in some beams. So I'm gonna put in some beams, and I don't remember exactly how I did this. I have them curving, so from the middle point, and then so it'll kind of arc here, connect to a middle point here, and then arc. So I mean, there's gonna be a lot of support beams in here. I'm gonna finish putting the floor in. I think I might be putting, because this is gonna be a horse shop, I'm gonna probably end up putting some sort of horsey related pixel art in the middle, because this floor is so huge I can pretty easily do something like that. Most of my builds aren't big enough to do anything like that, but this one is, I think. So I might be putting in like a pixel art of the Minecraft saddle or something here in the middle. I don't know, something cool. I'm gonna come up with that. And then we'll have pens and other things for horses, and I've got to start gathering all that. But yeah, so here's the build. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you think. I really would love to get your feedback on this, because I kind of created this in a vacuum, haven't really showed it to anybody. Addie's really the only person who's seen it still at this point, I think. So other people may have gotten on and seen it, but nobody's really mentioned anything in chat. I don't know that they have really seen it. So, because so many people who are on are away from spawn. But yeah. So thank you guys so much for watching. As always, I've been Tortoise the Gray, and you guys have been great. Yeah, make sure to leave those likes and comments below, and we will see. Ooh, buddy, where are you spawn? Oh, I know exactly where he's spawning. He's spawning right here. That's right. I need to get those lit up. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to leave those likes and comments, and I will see you guys next time when I reveal the horse shop to you, and we'll probably. I don't know. Let me know what you guys want to see next time, I guess. Might end up working on the fishing shack back at the base or something. I'm not really sure at this point. So let me know, and I will see you guys next time. Have a good one.